Hello! Today I am going to draw a vase of flowers. And in the art world, we call this a still life. A still life. So the first thing I'm going to start off with is my vase. So I want to show you a couple of ways I can start my vase. One way, this is a little smaller paper, is I can start with a little curved line, just like that. And then I can come up with what one side of the vase is going to look like. Ooh, look at that fancy line. Now the trouble is with a vase like this, it is symmetrical. It's the same on both sides, which is very nice looking, but it can be hard to match it. So you might try to match this side and have trouble. Might not look exactly the same, and that's okay. I'm using Sharpie so that you can see, but start with pencil, because usually I do this side and I go, ooh, and then I draw this side. Oh no, it doesn't match. I have to erase it. And then I'm gonna go out a little bit and then connect that with a curved line. That's kind of a fancy little shape. So I'm gonna do two that are a little bit simpler. On this one, I'm gonna start with two sides that go kind of diagonally down. And look how big I'm drawing this vase on the paper. On this one, I'm gonna make it a little bit lower, and it's almost like I'm drawing maybe a C on the side or an O, but I just didn't do the top part. For this one, I'm gonna connect it with a curved line, just like that. And then this one, I'm gonna go out, and I'm gonna connect this with a little curved line. And that's because the vases are round, so they have actually a circle at the top, right? Or an oval, so I'm gonna show that curve. These are gonna be sitting on tables, and it's gonna give me a way to put fun patterns on the table. If there's a tablecloth, it's gonna be in front of a wall if I wanna have a fun watercolor, wallpaper. So I'm gonna draw the bottom of this. Now you can make this, I could make this a picture too. Like I could make it not symmetrical, so it could come up and down, and then I could have a handle on it. Sometimes we might put flowers in a little pitcher. Now I'm not gonna draw the back of this yet until I fill up my flowers. Now I'm gonna show you on this one, before you draw, I want you to watch what a lot of people do. And what that is they draw each flower like this, and or however they draw them, and then they have the stems coming down like that. Well, it doesn't really look realistic, because usually in a vase of flowers, you've got a big bouquet of flowers. A bouquet is a big grouping of flowers. So what I like to do is I don't draw my stems until I've filled this whole space up with flowers. So I'm gonna show you a few different kinds. Let's say you're making this for a grown-up at home, and that grown-up loves roses, and so you're gonna wanna make this all roses. So on here, I'm actually gonna start, I'm gonna make little U-shaped roses, and I'm gonna start this off by filling this whole space up. I'm doing this, oh, I'm gonna add a little U's too. Look at that, I did all of them first, and I filled this whole space up. Try to think about filling a whole oval up. Then I'm gonna make these into roses, and look what I do. I start with the letter U, I connect it with a curved line, I top it with a curved line, and then I fill the inside in with a spiral. This is just a simple way to make my little roses. If you want to make a tulip, you could do a zigzag line at the top, right? So I'm just gonna make these real simple, just to show that these are little roses. And sometimes in a bouquet, a florist is a person that makes designs how the flowers all go together, and they get all those flowers ready for you when you go to a floral shop, or if you look at the flowers in a grocery store, they might add other little flowers in there, like they might have little baby breath. So I might put little groupings of maybe little white flowers, and guess what? They're just a bunch of circles together. Okay, so I'm just gonna make those. It gives a little bit of something different in there. And again, I'm not doing my stems yet. Okay, so then I'm gonna go in and add my stems, and I like to do the ones right on the bottom first. Those are the ones that are close to me, and I'm making my stems with two lines so that I can color them in, right? Then I can go in here and add these, and then the stems back here, guess what? Some of them are just gonna disappear. You're not gonna be able to see them because they are behind. The flowers in the front are overlapping the ones behind. Then I can add some leaves in. I'm just gonna do real simple leaves. I'm gonna have some coming off here, real simple leaves. Look how I'm filling this up. And even though that looks really complicated at first, you guys already know how I did it with letter U's and hills and circles and straight lines. So it was really just adding a lot of them. Okay, so now see the back here? I'm actually going to put a little line in the back. This is a curved line. Think about it like a little hill back there, and that shows the back of my vase. It makes it look a little bit more realistic. Now on this one, so this is for someone who just loves all those roses. I'm the kind of person that I love a variety of flowers. So I'm going to put a variety in here. So the first ones I might start with, I'm going to start with 3 ovals, not looking for them to be perfect. Then I'm going to go out and I'm going to make some big petals on these. So these are just going to be some big, bright flowers. Now, do I have to make these all flowers that are real flowers that really exist? No. I'm going to have a little fun with this. I'm going to do one with a little spiral, and these are going to have little pointy petals. This kind of remind me of suns. When a florist makes their flower arrangements, they think about color and texture, the way the flowers look and feel different. Oh, now I think maybe, you know what, I really like flowers like snapdragon. So I'm going to do an upside down letter U and then kind of a little wavy line. They almost look like pieces of popcorn. I'm going to put some of those in there. And those kind of grow together. And a florist thinks about all the different sizes of the flowers, so they really want it to be balanced. And we think about that as artists too, as we want it to be balanced. I wouldn't want to have a whole bunch of big sunflowers on the left side and then little flowers over the right. I kind of want to sprinkle them all throughout. So let's see, what other flowers could I put in here? Maybe I will add some little kind of tulip looking flowers in here. So I'm going to fill this whole thing up. I'm just going to add maybe some little baby flowers in here. And like I said, you can make up your own ones. You can have ones, like if I were going to go in here, maybe I would add more layers to these like that. Maybe I would have some flowers that have little rows like this. And then maybe I made a pattern of pointy petal, rounded petal, pointy petal, rounded petal. Maybe these would have little circles in them. And then maybe this would have polka dots in the middle. So you can be really creative with your flowers. So then once I do that, then I can come in and maybe I'm going to start down here with some big leaves. And then maybe I can change some leaves. Maybe some of the leaves are going to have kind of a little jagged edge. These are just going to be little lines. So I'm going to go in, I'm going to add some little stems so it all comes together. I'm not worried about this being perfect. I'm going to add some leaves in there. I'm just filling this whole space up. If you want it more simple, you can do less. You could do 3 big flowers maybe. And look, I'm going to put that little curved line there. Can't even really see it now. Look at my big bouquet of flowers. Okay, now is the fun part to decorate your vases. Now for this one, I'm going to make it glass. So glass has a thickness. So I'm actually going to show that thickness going all the way around there. And you'd be able to see some of these stems coming through, right? So I'm just going to add some of my little stems. I'm not going to add all of them. I think it'll get too busy. But maybe just some of these little stems coming up through here. Okay, and they don't go all, some of them might go right about here. I'm going to do a little line across the bottom that shows the bottom. And then for the water, I'm going to make a curved line just like this curved line here. And then a little line here that's just like that curved line that shows the top. This is where the water's been filled up to here. And there you can sort of see the top of it. Pour a glass of water and see how you can see the top flat part of it. All right, so there's my glass vase. Now this is going to be a fancy vase. I can add different patterns to it, designs. It's painted. This is a fun place to add some more color to. So I'm going to do some zigzag lines. And then I might add some polka dots. Okay, now it's time for the table. Now if we were looking down at a table that had a vase of flowers on it, the table would not be right at the bottom here. That would look like it's about to fall over. The table would be somewhere here. So I'm going to draw a line going across like this all the way to the edge of the paper. Look how I went all the way to the edge of the paper. Now, what if this one was on a round table? I could actually make a round table. Now, you'd probably even see it through that glass a little bit, wouldn't you? So there's a round table. Oops, sorry, got shaky. All right, then I'm going to come up with my pattern. I'm loving the little spirals in here. So I'm thinking I might draw the tops of my flowers. And look how I have some going off the edge. Some would be under here, because if this was a tablecloth, all the designs would not jump into the center, right? Some of them would go behind the vase like this. And then maybe I'll throw in some polka dots. I'm going to match that a little bit. I did my vases, I drew them really big. So I don't have a ton of room back here, but I could add a window, I could add a chandelier coming down, I could make this wallpaper and put stripes across the wall, whatever I wanted. Now I missed something fun I could do down here. I just made that all patterned, but what if I wanted to put things on the table? What if I wanted, so wouldn't that have been cool if I put a teacup on here? Maybe I'll cut that out of a magazine. Maybe I'll find some patterned paper and cut out a teacup and put it on top of there, because that would have been nice. If this was a drawing for a grown-up who maybe likes a cup of coffee or a cup of tea, maybe you could put that on there, or maybe their glasses. So this is, if this was the morning time, here would be my glasses sitting here, right? I'm gonna put my little glasses. So you can make it a little still life of what would be on your table for your family. So maybe here is gonna be a little plate, and maybe there's just some little crumbs. Maybe you could have a little slice of watermelon or some fruit. Wouldn't that be nice to have a little apple? I'm gonna do that with, have my little, this is a little fork here. Someone just finished this little muffin and all they left me was crumbs. And again, I filled this whole space up, so I don't really need to put too much back there. And I'm gonna figure out something I can glue on top of here, since I've decided I wanna add something. When you think about coloring, just think about that balance with the flowers. So if I have, these are my big yellow flowers, what other colors are gonna look really good? And then you have to think about your wall color. If all these flowers are oranges and reds and pinks, should I do a pink wall? Probably not, because the flowers would then blend in. Wouldn't a blue wall look great, or a purple wall? Another thing I love to do is, if I have markers, I like to color all the flowers and my vase in very carefully with markers, and then I like to find a crayon that I can use for the background, because then I know the crayon will be a lot lighter, and my colors, the marker colors on the flowers and the vase, are gonna be really bold on my picture. So that's one idea. You definitely wouldn't wanna pick something too dark that would make your flowers sort of disappear. So you have to be thinking about your colors. And I also think, wouldn't this look great, the crayon to do the water? I could go right over that glass like that, and then I've got that little kind of look of water, and maybe I'll press down hard with the crayon to show the thicker part of the glass around the edge. So good luck on your vase of flowers. They're going to be beautiful.